right now. In your ear, what's going on, Wade? What's going on to the chat room? Shout out to everyone that's listening in my listening audience. This is Lawrence D. Adams, and we are here. This is when spirituality and the game combine to have a thinking class where we give you the game, unadulterated, fire, just for you. If you are watching this any part of the United States, you definitely know that you're getting the most top-notch game there is. Shout out to everyone that's listening. Appreciate everybody. Let me drop the beat. Yesterday was wild yesterday. We talked about something that I think a lot of people don't talk about when they talk about independence, especially in this space when it comes to this manosphere and this whole and womansphere and whatever you want to call it, whatever else. And that we're talking about, we talked about independence, how important independence is as an individual, but we also talked about the dangers of people wanting you to be codependent on them. How some men look for women to be codependent on them. How certain women look for certain men to be codependent on them. And what happens is it changes the whole dynamic between the relationship with them. So we gotta really think about it. The real key is interdependent. The man knows his position, the woman knows her position, and they work interdependent with each other. So let me say this: those who are bound will hate that you are free. And a lot of times we think freedom, we think of hate that you are free, they hate that you are independent. The reason why they hate that you may be independent is because it reminds them of the change that they have on their mind, on their emotions, or their physical. It reminds them that they are still bound up on some level. So they will hate you on some level. I promise you. That's why it's so important that you realize and that you navigate free people hang around free people. As it says in the good book, birds of the feather flock together. And we're going to make sure we do a call in today. I'm going to put the link. If you come on in, I'm giving the prerequisites. I got to know you. If I don't know you, you can't show you. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. But it's very, very important that we talk about independence, how important it is that you as an individual walk in your independence. And I think a lot of times we're waiting for the approval of the herd or the masses before we decide to go with a particular thought. If that was the case, this world, this internet, this anything that's going on would not be at the level it is if it wasn't for somebody to say, hey, let's do this a different way. Let's approach this a different way and see what happens. It's only then when someone embraces the independence or independent spirit, let me say that again, or a spirit of pioneer that says, hey, let me jump out of the herd because I see the herd is headed over the hill and I don't want to end up there. I think that's what we need to really talk about today. But I'm going to give an opportunity for everybody. If you want to come in and say something, I'm not going to open it up yet. Once I figure out if you want to come through Zoom, I'm going to open up the Zoom and you can come up. But I'm telling you now, talk crazy, whatever case may be, you got to go. I don't have zero time and talk about what the subject is. Don't talk about your granny. Don't talk about your grandma and Auntie Am and Mel Mayberry and about Andy Griffin. Don't talk about none of that. Talk about what we are talking about. Because at the end of the day, I am running a show. And at the end of the day, it is a business. So I wanted to be very clear on what I'm saying today. Let me get this link up, get this up here right quick. There we go. So independence is so those who are bound will hate that you are free. And we can see that on so many levels. Those who are free thinkers, those who are not bound by the mass thinking will always try to push you back and say, let's get back into the get back into the herd. I've watched it too many times with individuals. Now, this is not to say this. I got to emphasize this. This is not to say that you do not need anyone else, but it is saying that you must be able to stand on your 10 toes and give a reason why you believe and stand the way you do. And I believe a lot of people don't do that because they're looking for the validation of others. What if the crowd never validates you? What if your mama never validates you? What if your cousin or even your wife or your whoever else never validates you? You got to still be able to stand on your 10 toes and actually stand on your truth. Independence is a very, how can I say it? Independence is a very strong word, and it's been tossed around in these social media outlets. And what happens is it's been used to weaponize. Some people have used independence, and I'm independent, to weaponize their way of moving through life. Let me say that again. Some people have been using independence as a way to weaponize their way through life. So they're using, I'm independent, you better get out the way because I ain't taking them from you. They're using it as a weapon instead of using it to really appreciate your individuality and to honor someone else's individuality. So they use their stance that I am what? I'm independent. I got this. I don't need it. They use it as a weapon and not realizing that the weapon that they're using to hurt someone else, or not even so much hurt somebody else, but to actually to navigate through life is actually hurting them and crippling them from being in a healthy, productive relationship with others. So when you see people use independence as a weapon, you have to be very, 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 very mindful of why they're doing that. Why are they using that as a weapon? And as we see in social media right now, a lot of people are using it because they want to say that they're not the same. But when you realize you don't need to say that you're not the same, that you are just who you are, people to realize that you are independent. It is those who announce that they are independent are the ones who are the most bound. It is those who announce that I'm independent are the ones that are most bound. Let me say that again. Those who got to announce that I'm independent, I got it together, I don't need nobody, this and this and that, are normally the ones who are most bound because they're trying to use independence as a badge. They're trying to use it as a way to move through life so that they can feel like they are important. So they're using independence as a way of saying that I am important. I've watched it too many times, too many examples of people using independence as their badge of honor, that to let people know that I'm independent. You can't tell me anything. In reality, that person is the most bound up. That's why I say those who are bound will hate those that are independent. The reason why they will hate those that are independent is because, I'm saying it again, because it reminds them how they are bound up on some area of their lives. And when they are bound up on some area of their lives, what happens is they try to push you back into being who you used to be, or they try to push you back into being bound like them. It's like the alcoholic who says, hey, you know what? You go to the bar every weekend or whatever the case may be. You go to AA and you say, you know what? I ain't going to drink no more. Soon as you see your buddies, they want to push you back and say, hey, let's start drinking again. Same thing if you were weed smoking and you can drink weed, whatever. Okay. And you see your buddy and you know you don't do that anymore. The first thing they want to do, hey, won't you roll up for us? They know that you stop smoking weed, that sticky icky, that whatever, different forms of it that it has. You stop doing it. So what they did, once you roll up, hey, once you say, oh, why don't you go in there and get that, why don't you go over there and get that brownie? Hey, what's in that brownie? Next thing you know, you back high again. Do you see what I'm saying? They know that you are free in this area, but they want you to be bound like them. So they'll tell you, get that brownie, and there's some milk in there. And then you done ate the brownie, and guess what happened? You back at it again. I promise you. Yes, it's a cry for help, just like the IG post I commented on last night. Oh, you caught that. They're passing the stuff either, even in acts, and I even falling for it. Yeah, they're like, yo, man, you good? They're telling you to roll yours. Hey, you a good roller. Once you roll it up, and then you get on your hands, and then to get back into your system, right? Sabotage. And next thing you know, you're like, wait a minute. Ah, man. And they light it up. The next thing you know, you back. Hey, man, pass it. You back at it. You got to realize people that are they may not outwardly, they hate you like an individual. They hate you. But when they know you're free and they are not free, your freedom reminds them of them being bound. Yeah. So yeah, even with the IG post yesterday, perfect example about what took place. I love you. If you ever notice, I did not comment on my IG post. I did not comment on my IG post, and I need to address the IG post. And matter of fact, let's bring it up because it shows something. And this is no indictment on anyone on what they feel. So let me get to the right screen. We're gonna get this magic going. So we're gonna talk. We can talk about that because I want you to really see this. Let me get to the IG post. There it is. Oh, that's not where it is. Let's go. It is not there. We don't want to go there. We want to pull the wrong thing up. There we go. So, and I'm going to share my screen and show you what the IG post was so important right here. Okay, begin broadcast. Click. Start. Here we go. It's important. I want you guys to see this. And I'm going to say something about it too. Okay, here we go. I love my life. I love technology. Technology is my friend. Boom. So we can bring this up right quick. So there's the IG post. This strong black woman thing was very cute. We had a good run, but now I'm inspired to be a lady of leisure. I'm looking for a soft place to land. So I made sure that I did not comment on this. I only said, where will she land? What happens is it opened the door, and this is going on being bound and this goes along with what I'm talking about. So don't think I'm off base what I'm talking about. What it's showing is that when you look at the comments and this is no indictment on anybody who made a comment yesterday. This is just for you to see what really happened. The men had a viewpoint and the women had a viewpoint. The men had a viewpoint and the women had a viewpoint. Neither one of them are wrong and neither one of them are right. And I'm not going to read the comments, but I will say this, and this goes into about being bound and independent. Only three women I can think of had the correct answer to this. Only 3 women had the correct answer to this. And the other ones, I'm not saying that they were the correct answer to this. This does not mean that their answer was invalid, but this is what they felt. But the correct answer was given in my DM. The correct answer was given on Facebook when I posted it there. But it lets me know, because there's a disconnect between the men and the women, there's always going to be this disconnect between men and women that's stopping the progress so that we can walk in true independence together. And that's why I made sure I did not comment on the post. I didn't comment. I made sure I didn't do it. I wasn't going to comment on the post. Because if I commented on the post, then they're going to say you for the women, you for the men. No, I didn't comment because I wanted people to express what they thought and what they felt. But only 3 people, only 3 women I know of. Angela answer said the right thing when it comes to this. And what happens is we need to look at when we look at this statement. I could break it down. You could definitely break it down. I can break down just the first sentence when we define what is strong. Are we talking about strong in the sense of masculinity or strong in her femininity? If I was to read this in context, she's talking about being strong really in the sense of her masculinity, and she's tired. She's tired. If I was to look at this correctly, strong black, and this does not take away that a black woman in particular is not strong. But what is her strength deriving from? Is it deriving from her femininity or her masculinity? See, when she derives from her femininity, catch what I'm saying, she doesn't get tired. Bingo, I got to give my own self a clap for that one. When it derives from her divine femininity, she does not get tired. We can stop right there and I can shut this whole thing down and go home. When a woman is strong in her femininity, she does not get tired. Tired. She doesn't have to say, we had a good run. Why? We can just stop right there. I mean, anybody in the chat room, y'all definitely can catch what I'm saying. She doesn't have to say that we had a good run. See, that's the part that that's what the people miss right there. We can just stop right there. I can go home, or I'm already home. I can go and we can do them. That woman that replied to me was funny. She said exactly what I thought she would, but she never addressed my point. All she had to do was the end was the end homonyms. Correct. I understand. Yeah. The thing of it is this. That's why I did not comment on there, Viking, because I wanted everybody to see how they were going to respond. But let me break this down again, because this still has to do with those who are bound will hate that you're independent. What's going on, Joe Blast? This strong woman thing was very cute. She's making light of the fact that this strong woman thing was very cute. That means that she got tired of doing it. It was cute for a minute because everybody's saying, I'm an independent woman. I could do it. I think I could do it. That whole parade, it ran its course. And what happens is, she said, we had a good run. It was good while it lasted until you realize there's no one there really besides you and Toto, and you're trying to get back home. And I know the opposite is going to say, well, that's not what she's mean. That's what she's not. That's not how I seen it. Because everyone's going to see it from the point of what? Subjective and not objectively. They're going to look at this as a subjective because they think it is an attack against them and what they hold dearly, that mindset or that dysfunction, that what? Being a strong woman in her masculinity is a prized thing, something that has been taught for almost 50 plus years. What does this have to do with those who are bound? So when a woman, because I'm going to bring it around to what I'm talking about. Now when a woman is strong in her femininity and still can be able to do the things she does, she doesn't get tired. She's nurtured from her femininity. She doesn't lose her feminine touch when it deals with herself, her family, her husband, and everyone around her. I don't know how we got on here. Thanks, Viking. Thanks. She would have never said we had a good run if this was a good thing that she was a strong black woman. She would not have made a sarcastic statement that says this strong black woman thing was very cute. That's sarcastic. That's making light of women that are what? Strong black women. Bingo. Catch what I'm saying. She would have never did that. But now I aspire to be a lady of leisure. A lady of leisure. That means a lady that does not want to, if you of leisure, that means you have, I'm not saying that when you're of leisure, if you are of leisure, that means you have minimum responsibilities. Minimum responsibilities, because in order for you to be in leisure, that means someone else or something is already taken care of so that you can be in leisure. You can't be in work and leisure at the same time. You cannot be in a factory, in a steel mill, talking about you in leisure. You cannot be at a factory working at a steel mill and talking about you are at leisure. It does not add up. It doesn't add up. You cannot be at, I'm gonna say it again, you cannot be at a factory and talking about, oh, I'm a man of leisure, I'm at the factory. No, it doesn't work like that. When you at leisure, that means you have minimum responsibilities because they have already been taken care of, and now you can rest assured and be for the woman, be the flower that you want to be, and and spin around in your summer dress and your maxi dress, and you can do what you want to do. Next thing she says, I'm looking for a soft place to land. If she's looking for a soft place to land, that means something. She's looking for a soft place to land. Why would she look for a soft place to land? She's looking for a place where she can be this lady of leisure. Salute. What's going on, brother? What's going on? My man. Salute, Eddie and Chad. I was saying her post was Val crying for help, but even some of the other women in the comment didn't pick up on it. They didn't get that. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Right there. Looking for a soft place to land equal looking for a beta. She's looking for a place where she doesn't have to do anything, but she still wants to run everything. She's done having fun and seeking a beta. Very good point. Very, very, dude, I couldn't say it even better. And this is no indictment on her. This is just a reality that I promise men are so literal. I think she meant she's tired of being so strong, having the part of life on her own terms, fighting the position. That's exactly right. Men are literal. You are right. Well, let me go to the next statement. You are right. I think she meant she's right. She's tired of being strong. That's my point. I can't say it no more. I've been knowing Sandra for a long time. You're right. She's tired of being strong, handling the parts of life on her own terms. That's exactly what if any man in here is saying, and the women who came behind, the one that came in my DM and the ones who commented on the post, that's exactly what it comes down to. What's going on, Ted? You made it back to Georgia. Yes, say good. Good. You are 100% right. She's tired of handling the part of life on her own, fighting for position. Now, fighting for position, I don't know about that. She's in a position. It matters what you mean by what position is she fighting for. Is she's fighting to be in position to be a wife, or she's fighting the position to be in the workspace, or what is she what position? And that's only in her interpretation of what she did when you define position. If y'all, oh boy, the heat has started. The heat has started. I see it. So yes, you're right. Let me get back to Sandra because she's actually correct in what she's saying right here. I'm going to open up the thing. I'm about to open it up. I promise men are so, yes, we are, men are literal. I know a young lady who's literal. I even call her Miss Literal. So you're right. You are literal. Yes and yes. I think she's tired of being so strong. And that's what I broke down is what kind of strength is she being in? Is she strong in her femininity or is she strong in her masculinity? Because if she was strong in her femininity, she would not be tired. She would not be tired because that's her place of rest. Yes. Good. Oh boy, we about to get it.
Execute Order 66.
Being strong black woman is overrated. Woo! Thank you so much. Somebody had to say it. I'm about to open up these lines. Y'all gotta. I ain't gonna be talking to my. I ain't gonna be talking to myself. I'm gonna get y'all to come up here. Everybody got all this stuff to say in the thing. Here we go. And I'm gonna open up the Zoom in a second. It's overrated. Do you know how hard black women are come against? Yeah. Fighting just to be in position in life. Yep. I know exactly what they're going through. But this is the thing that happens. And we need to really talk about this since we didn't open up of worms. We're always competing, and I'm going to say this. We're always competing who has it harder, men or women. Talking about black men or women, or just men or women. If you look at the past 50 years, women have gotten more initiatives for them to win in life. More black women graduate from college than black men. Now, does the pay equal the same? No, I am not going to front and say that the pay that a man gets and what a woman gets is the same. It's not. But in this fight to get equality, what does it profit the woman? If she gets this position in life and she dies at 35, when she loses her hair or when her health is failing because she's fighting for a position that her man should be in, that her hand should be in. Men that are winning understand the race doesn't end until you die. Women have been told to live like a man, but they were lied to. They will get back. They will get a break someday. Right. Come on. Life doesn't work based on what you think, you interpret. It's based on what it is, literally. Y'all get some heat. Good. Let me see what she said, top guys. But You can't just try to understand what they mean. Even the Bible has interpretation if you want to see it, if you want to see. So in this case, this woman, let's break it down sentence by sentence. In this case, and let me do something. Let me see if I can do this right here. In this case, see here. 1 second. Let me see if I can do this. 1 second. Let me see if I can do this. I love technology, I tell you. Let me see if I can do this right quick. Oh boy. Yeah, I gave the link so you want to beam up. I'm trying to adjust something right quick while we were talking. So I got it set up in such a way. But you definitely, I gave the link in the bio. So let me see if you want to, I'm not in the bio, but if the link right here, where's the link? Invite. Here's the link. And I'm not, this is not to talk disparagingly against Sandra. This is just to say we need to understand both sides. I am trying to do this, but let's do it this way. Let's do it this way. Here we go. 1 second, you guys. I'm trying to adjust something. I can adjust it. I love my technology. There you go. There he is. Let me adjust something. Top 1 second. There we go. I'm just trying to adjust something so my screen comes out right. Now I feel like somebody I know. Shout out to him. Let's see here. 1 second, top 1 second. Let me minimize. I'm trying to move something around on my screen and it not allow me to do it. Shoot. It ain't allow me to do it. Okay, boom. Here we go. Okay. So look, what's going on, brother? Can you hear me?
Give me 1 second, LDA.
All right. Trying to adjust something right quick. No, you're not blocked. You didn't know you're not. I think I got blocked on you. You're not blocked on my chat at all. Whoever did that should not have blocked her. This is my friend for over about 10 years.
Okay. Can you hear me, LDA?
Yeah.
Okay, I had to get my audio right. Part of that. Peace and blessings. How you doing, man?
I'm doing excellent.
Good. Glad to hear that, man. I'm glad I tuned in because this made my Friday a hell of a lot better. Gave me something to laugh at. But guys, I think it's a lot easier when you see it in print. The things that women are saying, or the words that they would say if they, would say them instead of putting them in text like this. But basically, this young lady who made this post, in my opinion, is the epitome of a hypocrite. Because she went from being a strong black woman, obviously, just based on the opening sentence of what of her post, she saying that the strong black woman thing was very cute, and that just lets you know how lackadaisical women are in regards to how they behave and how they regard their actions.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just that first opening sentence is a clear case of unaccountability. Well, I used to be a strong black woman. That didn't work out for me. So the hell with that. I'm gonna go over here and then I'm gonna try this. When all along, I'm pretty sure, say she may have had some kind of an inkling, or some other person, notably maybe a man, may have relayed to her, hey, this strong black woman thing that you on, it's probably not going to be a good idea for you. Yet she still did it, like a lot of other black females.
Right.
And I don't know. Maybe we guys could be misinterpreting what women are saying. I'm willing to concede that when they say that I'm a strong black woman. But here's what black women create are. Here's where black women make their mistake. First of all, they make their mistake by being so arrogant as to think that in this country, the United States, because that's all I'm talking about, in this country, that they're ever going to be treated much better than black men are treated. And so to not saying not to take advantage of opportunities, but to take advantage of opportunities to the detriment of your counterpart is akin to treason. And a lot of black men are not going to be too quick to forget that. And this sister here, Miss G Girl Tyler, is going to be in for a rude awakening when she run into guys, who have been enlightened to, what's commonly referred to as female fuckery. Because a strong black woman is some female fuckery, in my opinion, because it's unnecessary.
So that's the reason why when someone brought it to my attention in my DMs, I said, "What do you mean by?" And Sandra brought up a good point. She got a good point coming up, and I know you're going to address this. A good one. Once I say this, what do you mean, strong black woman? Are you saying she's strong in her femininity? Or are you saying she's strong in her masculinity? So when you make it that narrow and that clear, then the lines want to be blurred. Well, she's just strong. No, there's a difference.
Exactly, and this is something that women overlook, and this is what I was trying to relay to Miss Sandra in the comment section. Just like women say to us, you know what I'm saying? If you know that men are literal, then you have to be very mindful of the words that you say to a guy. You can't be nebulous in the things that you say to him. So if you say and on, and this is to give guys notice. When women say things, ask questions. Well, I'm a strong black woman. Well, what do you mean by that? What exactly do you mean by strong? And and let her tell you. And then you could decide from that point on if you're willing to continue even, interacting with this female, because she might be strong in a way that's not conducive for y'all to have any kind of romantic relationship.
Dude, right there is game all day.
Really, to be perfectly honest, and I don't always succeed at doing so, but every black male should have at least 50 to 200 questions to ask any prospective female, that's going to reveal to them what they need to know before they even ever lay down with her. Because women are not going to tell you shit. They are experts in omission, which is lying. And, it's no other way to say it. But that's what it is. I mean, a lot of people don't have the understanding that I have, in that, a lie and the truth is just two sides of the same coin.
That's very true.
You have to know when to utilize it and what for. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But, yeah.
She wrote something pretty good. She said, "Black people have it hard, period. Honestly, we are so disjointed with our black." Well, this right here, I'm going to want to bring a tear to my eye. She said, "Black people have it hard, period. And honestly, we are so disjointed with our black men. I blame the Oprah era."
Well, here's my response to that. And a lot of people, black people specifically, and myself once upon a time, but the only disagreement I have with her statement is I don't blame Oprah, because Oprah is a black person like me. And I don't recall none of us signing up to be brought over here and, mistreated and treated unjustly for like we are for as long as we have been. I always blame the people who in charge, because truth be told, we wouldn't even know who Oprah Winfrey is if it wasn't for the people who allow her to convey whatever message she was conveying.
Right.
In other words, it's white folks' fault ultimately. Because if white folks wanted to, they could have had her as a fucking hall monitor in a junior high school. You know what I'm saying? It just as easily as they allow her to be on network TV. So I agree with her statement up until that point. I try to practice not what I consider to be victim blaming.
Right. Because at the end of the day, like we teach over here, it's responsibility. It's still the gospel responsibility, because even though Oprah was there, we still have responsibility to take what she's saying or not, or to even implement that. Because then what will we say when Sanjay Ali come on the scene, and then who's the biggest opponent to stop her are black women.
Mm-hmm.
So what's the difference between Sanjay Ali and Oprah Winfrey?
Well,
you know what I mean?
It's very obvious. Shahrazad Ali is not about, not saying that Oprah is about it, but based on what we know from what they put out in public, Shahrazad Ali is not about no games. She willing to be called to task, whereas Oprah go give women an excuse to behave badly, in my opinion.
Right. Right. She says and I'm glad this is what I'm talking about. I appreciate what he's saying. I never understood that until I got married. Thank you so much. Right there.
Men are very, very literal. So if you say to a man 1 + 1 = 2, that's what we going on. You can't come back to us and say, "Oh, my bad. I know it said 1 + 1 = 2, but I really meant 7." You can't do that, because to us it doesn't make any sense.
No.
To give you a visualization as to the way men think in comparison to how women think. Although I've never been a woman, just going on, from my experience dealing with women. If you were to put a man and a woman in front of a set of stairs and said, "Get to the top, however you can get there," a man will take it one step at a time. A woman will go from the floor to step 8, back to 5, up to 9, back down to 2, and then finally to 10, because that's how women rationalize. We think completely differently, and I don't think, for the most part, that either of us, men or women, really appreciate how the opposite thinks.
Thank you. That is my point.
We certainly don't have any respect for it.
That's my biggest point right here. Now, I may not agree, but I have to at least say, hey, I respect what you're saying. I mean, I'm doing something. Keep talking as I'm going to get the Zoom call into here.
I want to address Miss Monica Cooper's comment. She says, "Stop generalizing." Well, I would like to say in regards to that generalization is scientifically based. You have to take a sample of what you're talking about in order to form a generalization. And I would also like to say that it's generalization. If it don't apply to you, then there shouldn't be a problem. And based on the response that I'm getting from you, by you saying stop generalizing, that immediately makes me suspicious of the fact that I might have said something that applies to you. Hashtag trigger.
Right. And then this is the thing, because we cannot speak to every nuance. We cannot speak to every nuance and every person that's listening or who is not listening, who is asleep, who may be having sex right now, or wherever they may be doing. We have to speak in what? Generalizations.
That's facts. I mean, it's a generalization to say that all human beings are breathing.
Right. Here we go.
We don't know that for a fact, because some could be holding their breath. You understand what I'm saying? But in general, we're all breathing.
Right.
So,
Sarah, you there?
Generalizing is not a bad thing.
What's going on? Shout out to her, because she came up. I've been knowing her since what?
Ooh.
Yeah.
Let's not talk about that. I think it was still the 90s, maybe. No, 2009 is when I started my channel, and I think you were on my first show, maybe.
Wow. Shout out to you. Good to have you up here.
To the gentleman that's speaking, I will have to give him a lot of intelligence points, emotional intelligence points. While making his point, I have to just really feel a sense of gratefulness to hear that you're not being triggered by what is opposite to your thought process. which is really one of the things I think we have been conditioned to do. So I wanted to call because I wanted to talk about the Oprah era that I'm talking about, because I am a very big part of the Oprah era, being that I am 56 years old. I did not get married until I was 45 years old. So I had to learn how to even deal with a man because my dad died when I was 4. And understanding the needs of a man is not necessarily what I was taught, not by my mom, not by my girlfriends, and not by other men. I had to learn my man my way. And as a Black woman, I do see where even just how Black women have been raised, and I was raised in the 70s and 80s, we were raised to be strong, independent. You can't count on nobody. You got to do this for yourself. You got to be at the top. You got to do this. You got to do that. So, yeah, I got to put y'all on mute. Hold on. I'm sorry.
No problem. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
That what she was. I just want to address the very tail end of the comment that she was making. And what perplexes me about that, and it goes beyond just this situation because it's a people thing, is the idea in your head. I mean, just think about that. When you say that I'm independent, that like literally means, by definition, I don't need anybody for anything at any time under any circumstances. And if you think about Black women saying that and the fact that they live in a society that's constructed by men, maintained by men, defended by men, it's totally absurd to say in any regard that you're independent. In any regard.
And I'm glad she said that. She said something that a lot of women, particularly Black women, would not address, that it wasn't until she got married. What's going on, Trav? It wasn't until she got married. Whoa, there she go. There she go. That's my homegirl. It wasn't until she got married that she realized that like you said, I don't want to go ahead, Sandra. Go ahead and say what you're saying because I don't want to
I didn't necessarily understand really like even the goals that men have. I didn't understand all of the needs they had. I know they had a need for sex. I know they needed to be appreciated. But the need that my husband has to be a provider is a very strong one. And for someone who has not only provided for herself, but for many other people, just because that was my thing to do. My name is Sandra. It means helper and defender of man. I've been doing that all of my life. So we can throw another point. Be careful what you name your people because they will do that. But anyway, so not understanding that has been the challenge, I believe, that we have as a group of people. We have come out of being chattel. We've come out of that. We have been separated a lot of times. Our families have been separated. Our men have been used as what's the thing? The bulls, the studs.
Yeah, studs, right.
And so that mentality that is in it's something that we have to purge out of our DNA, out of our presence, so that we don't have that mentality. If you gentlemen are sitting here and you're telling me that you don't have friends that will run through women, you're lying to me.
Oh, that's all no man that I know of ever only is ever only with one woman.
I'm admitted.
Now I heard you talking about the truth aspect of men, but the truth aspect of men is not all of them are telling that. They're not all my boy at ARC. They're not all Mo One. They're not all saying that. They're not.
Let me stop right there. So they know. Hold on. She know ARC from way back in the day. We know him from way back in the day, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this is anybody who wanted. I got to stop right quick. I got to give a little commercial.
On, man.
let me get this little commercial. We've been knowing him for way back on Blog
Where
Talk,
he's married.
right?
Right.
So I just want to make sure, because people say, "Well, where were you at, LDA?" I was there.
We were there.
Here's what I say. Here's what I say. If you pardon the interruption about Mr. Curry, is that in regards to men, it's not that guys don't want to be mode one. They want to be. They really do. They really have a secret, intense desire to say exactly what the hell is on their mind. But we live in a society where you have to be, there's conventions and rules and regulations of how we conduct ourselves in society. But if a guy could get away with walking up to you and say, "Hey, look, you got some juicy titty meat right there. That ass look good. I like to squeeze it. What's up, baby?" And you would respond to that positively, he'd do it.
You would.
Women are really tired of being sexualized.
I don't know.
And I'm gonna I'm just being
women use sex against men.
No, men use sex against women. And as a
How
woman,
so? How so?
You brought the bottom. Say it.
Do you mind if I chime in real quick?
Go ahead.
Okay.
Shout out to Trav.
I'm not on either side. I have my own opinion on it. So that's why I wanted to come in on here. And I think both sides are wrong. So here's what I see. I see men do over-sexualize women. I agree with that. You know why? Because that's why there's too many simps out here, because they don't actually get to learn women. How many times have you heard a man say she was attractive until she opened her mouth? Women say that all the time. So I do agree with that on that point, on that. But here's the flip side. In this day and age, though, women have robbed men of romance because women have changed how it is to be a woman. They want to have their cake and eat it too. I'm tired of trying to deal with these women who are closeted former hoes that want me to wipe them up. I'm actually not going to call them hoes. I'm going to call them the S word because they don't get money for it. So that's what I'm saying. So with that said, that's the problem I've had is I can be that for you, that protector and provider, but you got to earn it. You don't just have something between your legs, because I got something between my legs too, but I got more between my ears than you do. So you can't come in here and be like, okay, just because I exist and I've made mistakes, but I need my knight in shining armor. Where I'm from, where I grew up, we call that not even just being a captain. We call that being rescue Ronnie. I'm not a rescue Ronnie. You have to earn that. Women want participation points for relationships. They don't want to earn them today. They want to go out here, have free love like men. They want to earn like men. They want to do all these things like men and compete with men. But when it comes into a relationship, I'm a woman. You got to take care of me.
Might I ask you a question? What is a woman?
As far as like a person or like a definition of what makes a woman or what?
Yes.
So I can only say for what I want and in my opinion, but other than it being a biological thing, I would say as far as her role with me, a woman needs to be a nurturer, needs to be supportive.
Stop. A woman is a man with a womb. That's the only difference. So your mentality is trying to make a woman. I'm just saying.
A man with a womb?
A man, a womb.
So
man.
Wait a minute. Hold on.
A man with a womb. We have. Please, no.
Hold on. I'm gonna put everybody on mute. Hold on, one at a time. Go ahead.
Let me finish my thought. That's technically what a woman is. They are the carrier of the children. If you understood our physiology, our makeup, there's only one chromosome different, and we have an extra chromosome in order to nurture the children. So we have the same thing, but we have different hormones because of the goal is to, one, procreate and raise children up. So women are the raising of the children up. So what I heard you say is, oh, I got something between my legs too. But the difference is I have something between here, as if to say women do not. And I'm sorry I have to be offended for most women with that comment, because we have something up here as well. And the respect aspect of that is there from some men. That respect isn't there, which is why I say women don't want to actually be sexualized all the time. Yeah, we want to be appreciated for our beauty, for our grace. Some women like to be sexualized. They think, the younger ladies think that's a hot thing. I see how they act. I see how they dress. I'm listening to the music. I
Yeah.
feel very disappointed. But you know what? In my day, Minnie Riperton, or not Minnie Riperton, but Millie Jackson,
Millie Jackson.
honey, she did the same thing. That's
She
not
ain't the
new.
only one.
It's not right. She's the only one I can think of. So that's been there. So that's a little column of that type of woman. So what kind of woman are you looking for?
So let me respond to that. So when I say this about my mind, I'm not saying that women don't have that either. But what I'm saying is that in average, when I come across women, I'm doing better than them. So my mind has more than they do if I have a better life thing. Now, on top of that, if I'm making more money, I'm more accomplished in my life. If you and I get into a situation, I have to put my life on the line, right? And I got to bear the family, right? Like a lot of the things. I'm the leader of the household. Then if that's the case, then why is it that the woman's the prize then? See, women have this, we're the prize mentality because of Cinderella and Disney movies, when in actual case, if you really look at it from a logical point, that doesn't make sense. That's why in the Eastern societies, the man was more desired than the woman, because we brought more to the table on average. So that's what I'm saying. I don't think there's disrespect that comes with it, because if you look at the women I date very attractive women that respect the hell out of me, and I respect the hell out of them, but I check them on their entitled ways.
So this is an interesting conversation. I'm glad we brought this all. I mean, bring it around to a full circle about what everyone is saying. I think we're seeing what was on the post that I had up was the importance of the disconnect between men and women and how we interpret what's being said. Just from this conversation, because if you look at what Sandra said, and you looked at what you said, and look what Top said, we see everyone has a viewpoint on what's being said. But sometimes, because we don't have these discussions, there becomes a disconnect, and there never is a way for the bridge to be paved so that we can come back as one.
Correct.
See, I've been on, like, this is my proof right here. Sandra, she's been knowing me for years. We've been doing this for years. So what I've seen, I've been on panels, I watch everybody from top to bottom. But my thing is, how do we resolution build a gap with this conversation? That's how do. So I'm going to go to Top first, then I would go to Sandra, then go to Trav. What's the solution to this?
Well, just speaking, from the point of view of a man, considering that ultimately the responsibility of the family, the responsibility of the nation, etc., falls on us because we are ultimately in charge, then you have to be just, and you have to lead correctly. So you that also means that you have to be mindful when it comes to the women that you're dealing with. You have to already understand what kind of a man you are, so you'll understand what kind of a woman that you want to have. And not only that, but I'll conclude with saying that communication is a very, very big part of it. You know what I'm saying? Learn to ask questions. Don't just assume, because we do that, and that's a generalization, by the way, about everybody. We have a tendency to think that we understand exactly what is being said because we are familiar with the words coming out of a person's mouth. But it's always best to ask questions about what's being said so that you can get an understanding. Because somebody will say something to you, for example, when white folks call black folks a nigga. The reason why niggas get so angry is because they don't know what the fuck is being said to them. When you should say, well, what do you mean by that? What exactly are you calling me? So you'll understand, because your life could be in danger. And I'll end with that. And appreciate you for allowing me to come up again, LDA.
Oh man,
And
always.
nice to meet you, Miss Sandra. And of course, shout out to the technician of the year down there in the bottom right square, Mr. Travis Terrell.
Hey, thank you, sir.
Go ahead, Sandra. Go yours. It's your time. What's this? What is the with all this being said, and we know we can't fix the world in a couple of minutes. But what is your assessment of this?
So I want to say that the gentleman that just spoke, he spoke it very truthfully and eloquently, and I really wish a lot more men thought that way. I don't know if they do.
You hear
Again,
that?
a
Y'all
lot
need
of
to come to my
emotional,
channel.
Hey.
a lot of emotional intelligence seems to be coming up from him. And although we may see things different, because from the perspective of being a woman in this society and being an African American woman, I think some of the disjointedness comes from not even truly understanding our own needs.
Mm.
So when you don't understand your own needs, you think you go, a lot of people, I believe, go into a marriage or a relationship looking for someone to fix them or to someone to make them whole, when you should be fixed and whole before you go into that. They're looking for someone to make them happy. Your happiness comes from within, not what you have, not the status you have. You should be happy at what level of life you're at. As long as you're achieving goals, that should be the thing. I feel very, unfortunately, sad for some men because they are looked at as providers, and women want a man with a whole lot of money. He got to make this and he got to have that, and a whole lot of women believe that they're ready for that, and I'm sorry, you ain't.
Mm. Wait a minute.
Hold
Hold on.
on.
Hold
I
on.
never wanted to get married
Uh-huh.
when I was messed up, and I knew I was messed up. I knew what I've been through in this world, and I was a very strong Christian person until I got to BTR and I met all of you people. Oh God, your picture. And I met all you guys. I felt like,
Come on, bro.
I kind of felt like,
You gotta do the hyena noise.
I needed to relearn myself, and I did relearn myself doing dating shows, talk shows, and from the perspective of having a male head of household, and there are air quotes. A lot of men, maybe not the ones on this panel, but a lot of men can't even lead themselves out of a paper bag.
That's
No.
True indeed.
Wait
True
a
indeed.
minute. Wait a minute. Stop
I
right there.
have made that same comment.
Stop right there. Let me
Execute Order 66.
stop right there.
Yo, that sound clip is fire.
See, let me stop. Hold on.
Execute Order 66.
Yo, Palpatine is the biggest gangster in the galaxy of all time.
Yes.
Do you understand what she just said? For all y'all people that think I don't get on men and men it is, she says some of y'all men, which is the honest to God truth, can't lead yourself out of a paper bag, but yet you want a woman to be submissive to you, and you want to throw the Bible up. You know it said in Ephesians, because I know the Bible, the woman is supposed to submit to the man. All of a sudden, you know the Bible.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, when they're saying submit, what they're saying is, I get to control you because you are my wife. You are now my property. So I'll be back.
What's really meant by submission is really we could just change the word and use cooperation.
Right.
That's really what guys are saying.
It's the wording that gets people.
That's exactly why I was saying earlier, don't take for granted that you understand what's being said to you until you ask questions. So for women, for example, when you encounter a guy who says, well, I'm looking for a submissive woman, you should immediately immediately. I understand y'all girls, it's hard, but you should immediately say to the man, "Well, what exactly do you mean by that?" Instead of getting
Correct.
triggered, and popping your neck and smacking your teeth, you know what I'm saying, and getting the black girl attitude and whatnot, because he said a word that sounds like slavery. Submission and
That's it right
slavery
here.
is not the same thing.
It's not the same thing.
That's it right here.
Under the same mission. I'm
That's it right
so
there.
go ahead, Monica. Woo woo.
That's it right there.
But again, let me go back to what I was saying.
I got the mission,
'cause
and
I'm
you
at work.
subscribe to my mission.
You are supposed to, and that is the thing. When we go into relationships and marriage, we don't state our life goals. If you're dating somebody and you think you want to marry them and you ain't asked, bro, what's this 1 year, 5 year, 10-year plan? What do you think you're going to do when you retire? How many kids do you want? How many kids you got? How many girls? If you're not talking about all that and you're not working, how can you submit? Because he's going to be going this way and you want to go that way. You might supposed to be with a guy that, is a construction worker and you're trying to go with an IT guy. Y'all don't even match. You're not even, you can't even, you know what I'm saying? I'm using generalities in order to make it, make sense. So that's, to me, the issue. Submission is often used as control. And for women, and I'm speaking women in my age group, in my era, and with my thought process, I cannot speak about much younger girls today. I do not understand them at all. And I feel sad. I feel like we older women have dropped the ball.
My
I said the same thing about guys.
Yeah.
We have men have a responsibility to other men, whether we accept it or not, and women have a responsibility to other women, whether they
Only.
accept it or not. Because if you don't do your job, we gonna have what we have now: a bunch
Stop
of
right there. Let me
confused
stay right
ass young people who don't know which way is up.
Let me say something. Now, I know everybody may not agree, but I'm going to say this. But in the Bible,
ye older women are to teach the younger.
thank you
That's
so
what
much.
the word said.
Ye older. That's how you know it's in the Bible. Ye.
Ye.
older.
I can look it up and give you the the address, but I know what the word says and I know what it means.
Ye older women are hitherto.
And y'all ye older women, bro.
What?
I mean,
Stop. Wait.
it's-
Wait. But the letter was written to who? From Paul to Timothy, a younger man.
Mhm.
Catch the game.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's all I can say about the young people today, man, is it is very saddening. All I could do is clap my hands and say, "Well played, white people." But to a very large degree, man, we all products of our environment to some degree.
Yeah.
Can I say something? Rose, exactly. Many of these young ones listen, but they won't apply it. You know why they won't apply it? Because Auntie and them ain't successful.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't going to apply something. You ain't going to listen to me tell you how to get an 850 credit score if my credit score 500. You ain't going to listen to me.
Right.
How the hell I know? I don't see you with no man. So how you going to tell me how to get a man? I got men. I got mine. I get paid with my, really, they're listening to the music. They're being programmed. They're watching things. They're being programmed. And they want the status, but they don't understand the emotional disconnection that's happening because of what's happening in society and on the gram and on Facebook. And, you got to have you got to get the BBL and you got to be snatched and you got to have all this. It's the false sense of what's important, and instead of lifting each other up, that's where we are. We don't want to lift someone else up. We only want to lift up ourselves. And I think that's what I hear men saying. Men are sick of women lifting themselves up and not lifting them up. Period.
Do you mind if I come in here real quick?
Go ahead.
I'm-
Jump
I'm-
in.
I agree with everything you said. I put most of the onus though on men. I think it's mostly men's fault because if we want to be leaders, we can't act like victims. Leaders aren't victims. So if we want to say it's our fault, it's because we allowed it. That's how I see it. We've allowed this to happen. And a part of the reason why we allowed it to happen is because a lot of men aren't leaders we should respect. I agree with that. Most men I hear complain, I can look at them in 2 seconds and go, your clothes are terrible. Your mouthpiece is not put together. You're not in shape. You're not doing this. You're not doing that. You haven't maximized and tried to make yourself the best version possible to be somebody to follow for submission. Why would I want to be with a woman that'll just follow my submission because I'm just there? That's a dumb woman, and I don't want to be with that. You want a person that's selected. Like with me, I don't have these problems that a lot of these men complain about. That's why I speak on it, because I'm not going to lose out on women if I say this. So the thing is like, as far as what I see with women is that it became more of a competition of men instead of raising the family and working together. Exactly where all that came from, there's different influences, but when the ability to earn their own money and do these things, a lot of women today feel like because they can make just as much money, that substitutes a man altogether. I don't need a man because I can make my own money. Well, then you didn't want a man. You wanted a bankroll from a human being.
All I can say is I'm glad they working.
Yeah, I'll give them that. But,
you want work, you can get it.
But men and women, because of outside influence, because of chasing status, because of the wrong values, we have put self-worth and materialism over family and teamwork. And that's why things are the way they are today.
I agree. And that is all done on a societal level, because
correct.
It's not like we all got together and said, you know what, we gonna prop up Oprah and put her on NBC. You know what I'm saying? There are more powerful people who did that, and so like I was saying earlier, she's not blameless, but she couldn't be there unless somebody allow her to be there.
So we have to know also that Oprah making a very clear statement that she did not want to marry Stedman, who has stood with her through all of her BS, kind of set the thing in motion about powerful singleness. And there's nothing wrong with being single. You can be successfully a happy single individual if that's what you so desire, but don't take away the nebulous family because of it. I mean, we don't have family structures in our neighborhoods, and our neighborhoods are showing that. And I think it's just from following that Oprah dream. I mean, she a billionaire. I could be a billionaire too. Sure, you can.
Shit. See, Oprah, she can afford to get away with it. She is a billionaire.
Does money just equal happiness, though? That's the thing I think. No. Because look at how many people are weird in Hollywood and they're all rich. Look how their kids come out crazy. They didn't have anything to go out without as far as money. But kids don't care about that. Kids want your time. They don't care about that stuff. It's like we become more immature as we get older. Kids be more mature about what counts a lot of times.
That's what I literally just said.
Yeah, money don't make you happy. We really only want money because we want what we think money is going to buy us, which is more free time to do the things we really think we want to do.
So I think we gave some good solutions and some good conversation. And for one thing, I need to say this: it is good to have the feminine up here.
Yes.
With this masculinity.
Yes.
So I gotta celebrate you right
now. This is
and it took me a while to get here.
Execute Order 66.
Execute Order 66.
See, that's game. See, in this space, you will see a lot of men that are leaders enough to be able to have a discussion with women they disagree about. Why? Because they can't lead, because they can't control their feelings, because they can't be mature and hear somebody out and try to work together. So yes, I love doing panels with women, because how you gonna talk about women but not talk to women directly? Be a man about it, and do this, cam up and talk to these women directly.
Mm-hmm.
But this
get on there and say they want it all.
this is the thing.
We all want it all, sweetie. That's the thing that I don't think that
This is
understand. As human beings, we're designed to want it all. The shiny thing is what catches your attention always. The pretty thing, symmetry. You gonna always be attracted to what you're attracted to. That's just in you. As a man, you're always gonna be attracted to a beautiful woman with hips and the right shiny kind of hair, because that's what your body wants to mate with in order to procreate. That's a natural thing. So it is what it is. It's just, how do you control that with your emotional intelligence? Is to have emotional intelligence.
Control.
And a lot of times that's what's lacking with both men and women.
That's why I said this statement. And you heard it here first, and I said it earlier this week. Simps are a necessary evil, as 304s are a necessary evil.
Mm.
You got to have both of them.
World go around.
You need both of them.
It's
But
somebody for everybody.
When you have time, I want a breakdown on that. That's a good point.
So simps are necessary evils and 304s are necessary evils. But this is the thing. Make sure that you're not one of them. That's all.
Yeah. Hey, I love that there's so many simps, only because it makes it easier for me. So it's like these dudes are so, and I'm not perfect, but what I'm saying is women know when they come across a guy and they're like, he's more put together than most. So when you're that person, it makes it easier. These dudes complain so much about, oh, well, women want this. You got to be this. They don't want normal men. Well, why do you want to be normal?
I'm abnormal than a motherfucker.
That's like
ain't no
like,
half simping.
Like why do you want to be normal? As far as why do you want somebody to just accept you for being just something average that anybody can have? People want something that's rare.
Same.
Here goes some game. You want to? It's real easy to not be normal. Just be you.
Thank you.
Nobody else like you.
Come on, thank you.
And that's the thing. And the same thing. What you saying to change the narrative with the 304s. What man really wants a 304 to take home to be his wife? Hey, mama. Hey, ain't that the 304 we seen on Instagram?
She gonna be a 304 once she become my wife.
What is a 304? I'm slow.
Put it on a calculator and turn it upside down.
Hold on. Let me get the music ready while she do that. Let me get the music.
Execute order.
With individuals. This is not the same. Hold on, my thing, Eric. While she's doing it.
It's major code.
Hey, y'all. This.
So everyone knows what 304 are.
What's this in the corner down there?
So your final answer. Your answer, Sandra. What is your answer? What is it?
Some holes in this house. Sorry.
And I would just like to say, for the record, there's nothing wrong with being a hoe. Mm-hmm. If you a hoe for your man, if you a hoe for a whole bunch of men, people go talk about you.
No, wait. No. Let me take up for the hoes for a minute.
Look, here we go.
A hoe ain't no hoe for their man. They a hoe for themselves. Because women enjoy sex just like you do, maybe more. They just better at hiding.
Well, I already know that. You speaking to the choir on that.
I'm just saying.
You got a whole body part that's entirely useless except for pleasure. What do you need it for? But that's part of women's problem.
I think this is what it.
Wait, so let me bring this in.
That little thing gets y'all in trouble all the time.
Stop. Blue, I'm taking away your trophy. You got to
So-
give it back.
So here's one thing I want to say real quick.
Hold on, go ahead, Trav.
Here's one thing I want to say real quick. I don't mind if a woman is very promiscuous or active, right? She has the right to do that. I don't think you should just disrespect her because of that or nothing like that. You know, maybe in my younger years when I was more naive, maybe, but as I got older, you know, there's nuance to everything, right? But as far as a relationship, right, with a certain strong man, men don't want women that have been around with a lot of people. And you can have a lot of experience with women or with men or women and not have a crazy amount of partners.
Right.
And to be honest with you, the best activity I've had has been with people who I was a little more I cared about because I'm willing to be more comfortable and stuff like that. So my only thing is this: there's consequences for every action you want. So it's like if you want the thing is if you want to be with a man, they're gonna want certain things. So you can't push the goalpost on that. If you want to be super active, cool, but don't be trying to act like and hide it to men, and then men have to accept things from you they don't want naturally because we should have the right to do what we want to. That's my only issue.
So basically, if a woman is a mode one woman or a hoe or whatever, promiscuous, whatever you want to call her, thought, whatever, what I hear most of you are saying on this panel is that you're not necessarily interested in pursuing a relationship with that person. And I think that's probably wise. And it's wise for women to feel the same way, because when you have connected your spirit with that many people, you become disconnected yourself. So, you know, I might take up for the hoes because, you know, because I'm only taking it up because they're not doing it for the men. They're doing it for themselves. They're doing it to make up for some things that have been missing. A lot of people pursue extracurricular sexual activity because they're broken.
Correct.
And the sad part is, I think men know that and still pursue that. And when you were talking earlier, that it's your responsibility to not do that. I appreciate that, because I've rarely heard men say that about women, that they shouldn't just prey on these weak ass, strong Black women.
That's an oxymoron.
That's
Is
what
it?
I was thinking.
Is it?
That's what it is, though. 'Cause that's what she's saying is what I've said before, how when a woman says they're strong and independent, that's like the male version of men saying, oh, I'm alpha. It's like, you're really not. You know what I'm saying? Because if you are, you don't have to.
Exactly. You have to say you're strong.
What's going on?
Not that strong.
I'm at work. I'm sorry.
Oh, that ain't you. That's not your job, is it? They moving stuff?
Well, you work at the railroad station? What was
I work at the library.
Oh,
it? Be quiet.
No, I work in the mailroom.
Oh.
So I move all the books around and I make sure everything gets to the right people all the time.
your camera is completely crisp. I love it.
Thank you. It's a little cheapo camera that they gave me with my PC. I'm like
Now-
literally
now-
at my
now
job.
I want to say this because this word has been used wrong, right?
What's that?
I'm only going to say H and S for the thing. So H for, we were saying the 304s, the word hoe, whatever, and then S. I don't know if I'm saying that because I don't know if you'll get in trouble for saying certain words, LDA. So I'm trying to be respectful of the platform. But the difference is that the H word, they actually get paid. The S's, they just mess around and don't get money. So most of these women are the S term, not the H term, because they're not getting money for what they're doing. They're broke. So that's all I want to say. There's more of that. I'll respect the H word because at least they get money out of it. If you're gonna own, that's what you're gonna do, then get some bread out of it.
That's
So
why
they out here free fucking, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
and there we go. We got from strong Black woman to down to 304s.
Execute Order 66.
But
Yo, I swear to God, man, that's just it. That sounds so ominous. I'm scared right now.
that broken comment though, that is so true. And the reason why I say that is because I'm not perfect, but I didn't come from a broken home. My home was actually a lot more, even though my father passed away too, but my home was a lot more stable than most people I knew.
Mhm.
So that actually stunned me when I first started talking to women because I didn't expect the craziness I could deal with because of the brokenness they came from. So that's what made me game goofy because I have this good home here. I see my dad's doing the white knight thing and my mom's appreciative of it. We don't have no issues. So I'm like, oh, that's how everybody is. Boom, 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 boom. You know what I'm saying? So
it sound like you know, in either situation, it's almost unavoidable that, you know, in one way or another, you're gonna learn a lesson. Some lesson.
You are.
You know, so even if you come from a home with, you know, a stable home with two parents, you're still gonna miss out on something. And even if you come from a single parent home, you're still gonna miss out on something. I guess that's just the way that life is meant to be, man.
That's what y'all guys are in my statement I said yesterday. I said we have no enemies, we have no friends, we only have teachers. That's all we have. We have no enemies, we have no friends, we only have teachers. Once you look at everyone that comes to your life, good, bad, or indifferent, they're here to teach you about who you really are and what you need to deal with. And that's just how it is.
Correct.
So with that being said, because we can go on and on, I look at jerk chicken. I got to get some jerk chicken. It's jerk chicken time for me every Friday. And nobody gave to the jerk chicken fund in the chat room. Y'all better come on. Somebody need to get. They didn't went up on jerk chicken up here in Cleveland. I don't know what y'all are doing. We need to get some jerk chicken funds going.
You ain't get no super chats? What's going on here?
No super chats, no cash apps, no love. All this good game. The dichotomy of the masculine and the feminine in the place. There's nobody. Come on.
You got to try the Mongolian beef and grits in the morning.
There we go. Hold up. There we go. Thank you for this to the shoot. Thank you.
That's why I can't have no women around me. They get trapped. I put out a plate of food. I got a bat with some nails in it.
But
you staying. You staying. That shit was good, wasn't it, girl?
Shout out. Hold on. Let me get this cash, this super chat. Shout out to John the W for the jerk chicken fund. You know what we do here. Y'all don't know, but I'm gonna play it since y'all don't know. We gotta get the. Oh shit! Here we go. LDA jerk chicken fund. Hey.
Hey, LDA, don't let me catch a clip on your channel with you walking down the street with a hyena on a leash.
Yeah, well, shout out to John the W for that super chat. Appreciate that.
Yeah, Jonathan know what's up. The jasmine rice had your whole house smelling good.
Shout out to you, brother. I appreciate that. Jerk chicken fun today. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. This has been a very good
overspitting game. Yes, my name's Troy. You turned the beat off. I was about to freestyle.
Please don't.
Thank you so much to everyone that came up. This has been a very productive conversation. Most time when we get panels, people get on panels like this, everybody fussing and cussing. Somebody's calling this one and that one. Not here. I appreciate y'all all for coming up. Thank you for sharing. Thank you, Sandra. I haven't seen you since we were in Atlanta.
I don't remember.
Yeah, it was Atlanta.
Was it Atlanta? I don't even remember.
Yeah, it was Atlanta. That's Atlanta. We all met out. We all met at a restaurant.
Yeah, I thought you said that too. I was like, oh, are you guys broken?
At a restaurant?
Not when my husband see my YouTube. No, we didn't. Excuse me.
We met at a restaurant. We all met at a restaurant.
I don't even remember.
I was like, made out. Y'all got some brokenness. That's some extracurricular activity going on right there. Way.
No, we could have stories about the old BTR set, and yeah, nobody ever came to me left. They know better.
Hey,
I don't play those games. this is not the opportunity for all of that. This is the opportunity to
that
share
smack ready,
and
boy.
move. Yeah.
Yeah,
This kid right here is crazy.
Yeah.
Thank you
But
so much.
thank you so much for having me on. I appreciate.
I
being able
appreciate
to
this.
No, for real. This is a great talk.
Thank you, Top. Thank you, Trav. Thank you, Sandra. Thank you for everybody for coming through. Thank you to Only John the W for doing that super chat in here with all this good game. I tell you.
And thank you, LDA, for the platform and letting us come on.
You're very welcome. Very welcome. I'm going to start doing this more often because this is what's needed. You don't need to hear me all the time. We need to hear a collaboration of the masculine and the feminine talking.
Yeah, I like women on the panels. I like it.
Not attacking each other.
No.
We don't need to see, the moment we see this, I'm just saying, you know what I'm going to have to do.
You know what's so ironic about the internet and this YouTube and this red pill manosphere space is you get a lot of dudes that come off sounding just like the women they complain about.
Oh,
complaining about women.
So, what?
You sound like my sister.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. What did you just say?
Damn, shots fired.
I mean, this ain't the first time I said it, and it's not the only way that I've tried to communicate.
Say that again. Thank you so much.
A lot of dudes be in their feelings and having attitudes with women, just like women do. It's like okay, we understand what's the problem. Here's the solution. That's the end of it.
Exactly.
I mean, you don't need a show for me every week talking about black women. There's more things in the world to be concerned about. You know what I'm saying?
I've talked about that with so many people. And these dudes, they want to be like in love gorilla pimps. Like they talk bad about the girls they're with, but they want to be in love. It's like, why you want to be in love, but you're just talking bad about all these women you really want to be with? Like, confused.
Man, I done pointed out to dudes, what do you mean that you deserve this? You sound just like what you say about black women when they say they deserve a rich man. I mean, make it make sense, dog. You acting like a real bitch right now, nigga.
Yeah. Once you change your thought process to I deserve and anything to I want to earn, that little switch right there will change a lot for people. You know what I'm saying? And it's the mental perception we have because the vast immaturity of society that's poisoning us through the phones. That's what's going on.
It's a fundamental misunderstanding of how things work.
Correct.
To say that I'm deserving of something automatically implies that someone else gets to make the decision. And as long as someone else gets to make a decision in regards to you, you have no control.
So let me say this. Since you said that, I know I was trying to go, but you made me put my preacher on. So what you said is there's a lot of men on here who are just male hyenas complaining about the same thing that they want from women.
Come on now.
They're complaining in the same manner as women would.
Preach.
It's like okay, we know women behave badly, some of them. You've identified the problem. Now, what's your solution? You know what? How many times do you have to reiterate that question and regurgitate that solution? I mean, you know why? Got to be told one time.
You know why they keep repeating it, Top? Because they want to just talk it out instead of putting in the work.
That's part of it.
I feel that right
there. Yeah, that's part of it, and unfortunately, we black people, we're very dramatic. We have an appreciation for the drama. So
So I guess top came here. Go ahead.
Can I ask you a question based on what you said? What about? So I guess you like, well, people are talking about what they deserve, and then if you're saying what you deserve, you kind of open the door for other people to kind of run, and that's what I heard you say. So what would be the alternate statement that maybe
Exactly
people?
what Travis was just saying. It's what I've earned.
Mhm.
You know,
Okay.
it's like for example, you don't deserve respect from anybody because as the cliche goes, a man is respected for his actions.
Right.
So it's
So
not about what
So
you
what about when
deserve.
people say I require this or I
Well,
require that? That was my
that's
follow up.
like that's like stating this is my standard.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But to say that I like, for example, when women say I deserve a rich man, or when you hear men say I deserve a submissive woman, they are in error in speech because they don't really understand the words that they're using. It's like building a brick wall incorrectly. You know.
I
so
I
You know,
thank
if
you.
you
That was good.
if a woman wants a rich man, then she has to, like Travis said, earn that. She has to be worthy of it.
so
And
can
the
I give an
same
And
thing,
being worthy
the
of
same,
that
the
is
same,
having better than a clincher.
so
Um, and I
and
said what I said. And
the same thing for men. You know, if you want a certain kind of woman, you have to earn that. It's just not going to be given to you because
Well,
that's what you want. You know what I'm saying?
but
so
that's the issue on social media. We got a lot of men who think just because they have some between their legs that they should have just any woman would haven't earned anything to deserve that type of woman. Trust me,
correct,
they're on the YouTube streets. They on here.
correct.
I see them.
So
Shout out to the homie Manimal Planet, but he said it, and I think he said it best. You know, in regards to men and women and submission, you have to be a man that's worthy of being submitted to.
correct.
Can't say it no other way.
that's
So
so very true.
let me give an example. I had a failed, not failed, but it didn't go far. It didn't fail at all, but it didn't go far. But it was refreshing, even though it didn't go far. So I briefly dated a girl, and she was very put together. She had her own, like multiple own hustles, own money, own car, own crib place. Went on trips all the time by herself. Her own money, didn't need nobody. All that, right? Extremely beautiful woman too. So this woman brought way more to the table than most women. It had some things more than me. She was willing to drive 2 hours to come see me. So when a woman of that quality is doing something like that for you because you've earned it, and yeah, guess what I did? Even though it breaks the rule, we had a dinner date, but I still did my thing and got what I got out of it. So I'm gonna just put it like that. But she earned that from me, and everything went fine. The only reason why we didn't keep going is because she moved, and I wasn't trying to move where she was going to. She moved right after I met her. But that was so refreshing that once you have something like that where you've earned this top-notch woman that looks like something off a magazine and all this and all that, you have the right to kind of say to certain people, I'm not dealing with that because I've dealt with better. Like, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But you only get that if a woman desires you and sees you as you were worth driving 2 hours to see. You know what I'm saying?
You're right. So with that being said, I'm gonna try this again. I'm gonna do like they do in church. Get the organ come up. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming up. Thank you for the jerk chicken. Thank you for everybody for their contributions to this show today, which I'm going to change the title to. If you haven't heard anything, you haven't learned anything, it is your own ass fault. With that being said, this is Lawrence D. Adams, when spirituality and the game combines. See you on Monday, 1 o'clock. Shout out to Trav, shout out to Sandra, shout out to Top. I'll see you guys then. I'm going to get my jerk chicken. appreciate everybody. You know how we end the beat. We're going to end it with the beat that we normally end with. We out of here. Peace and beer grease. I'm out. LDA. Shout out to the. We out of here.
You still a youngin'. That's how the DC boys talk. Come here, youngin'.
Right. Peace. Appreciate you guys.
The name on the channel spitting game. You haven't met a man the same. There ain't nobody in my lane. Yeah, I am the man, Trav. Yes, I'm a sad, and my life is great. I'm really glad. I'm over here at work. I'm getting texted by work. I'm over here doing work. I'm about to get some work. Hey, I'm with my dude LDA. I'm with Top. We on the top all day. Yeah, my freestylers keep going. I'm more of a singer, but yeah, my bars are still flowing. I gotta work on my delivery. It's gonna be like UPS and like FedEx. You see me? I'm gonna let this thing go. LDA and Top and Trav, we about to blow. And I'm so saying ho, and I never love a hoe.
Peace. Peace and hair grease. Alaikum salam.
Peace.
Peace.